So Bam Adebayo says there are going to be a lot of changes this summer. Knowing how the guy with the silver hair works, being prepared for that, let's get into the video.
Bam, 2 straight years of losing in the first round, and obviously you guys hold yourselves to a higher standard than that. What do you think needs to change?
What needs to change? I don't know. It's going to be a lot of changes this summer. Just from my point of view, understanding how, the guy with the silver hair works. So just be prepared for that. And, for me, man, it's understanding gotta figure out how to win a game in the playoffs. You understand how hard it is when you actually get into these trenches. So you take that and you figure it out.
Bam, obviously they take the captaincy.
So whether or not you guys think that Pat Riley deserves to be fired or even Eric Spoelstra, the Miami Heat have $65 million in expiring contracts this summer. After inexplicably losing their picks this year to get swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami stands out as a team ready to make an aggressive pivot move. If Miami stays in a win-now mode, chasing a star makes a lot of sense, but obviously that's easier said than done, and we haven't been able to do that even when Jimmy Butler was here. Now let's get into what Bobby Marks had to say about the Miami Heat's horrific loss last night and how the Miami Heat can prepare for the future and hopefully change the direction of this team.
Say in Cleveland, and then of course what just happened here is I would say probably the biggest embarrassment, blemish of this proud franchise and organization. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I would say it's probably one of the biggest, probably the biggest embarrassment. I mean, there have been bad Heat teams. I mean, when they came in as a franchise, as an expansion team, there's been some bad Heat teams. But as far as a proud organization that prides himself, this is probably one of the more low points there. So what do you do to pick? You have the hero Adebayo, and there were some really good moments with Khalil Weir. That's your core foundation post Jimmy Butler. Now the goal is, how do you kind of get that identity back? What is your identity? I thought this team was very vanilla since the Butler trade. It's like, who are they? They're a team that can compete some nights, blow leads some nights, but you're a below 500 type team, and the record kind of speaks for itself. So your core three is those guys: Hero, Adebayo, and Weir. Now, how do you add around that? You got financial flexibility. I know Heat fans don't want to hear that. You've got 3 tradable first in the future, including the Golden State pick. You've got $60 million in expiring contracts: Kyle Anderson, Hayward Highsmith, Kevin Love, Terry Rozier, and Duncan Robinson. You have, as I said, the flexibility. The article's up. Basically, you're hanging around. You are $11 million below the first apron, $23 million below the second. You have a decision with Duncan Robinson's $19 million contract. It becomes fully guaranteed on July 8th. There's, what is there? Like 9 and change that is that's guaranteed. You can gain $10 million in flexibility if you waived him. So it's not like you're a cap space team, but you're in a better situation financially than you were when Butler was still on the roster. You'll have your non-tax, you'll have up to 5.6 to the non-tax. You do have some wiggle room to dance around the apron with that. Top front office priority. Heat fans probably do not want to hear this. I say patience. Like any bad breakup, there is a tendency to rush into the next relationship.
So Bobby Marks is right. Us as Miami Heat fans, we have to be patient. Obviously, we just lost our best player in Jimmy Butler. We went through a horrific season with the trades, 10-game losing streak, and unfortunately, we got swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have to be patient with this front office. We really have to sit back and look. And first of all, we are going to be cooking this franchise. What I mean by that is we cannot allow Eric Spoelstra to have a terrible offense for the 6th season in a row. How long are we going to wait to have a competent offense? How long are we going to wait to have a playmaking point guard on this roster? Not only can we barely crack 90 points, we can't keep leads, and this is happening year after year after year after year. There's no excuses. Now we can't hide behind, oh, no, we couldn't get Dame. We couldn't get this person. No, we cannot hide behind those excuses. We need to get off of Jaime. If Jovic can't stay healthy and if Eric Spoelstra is not going to use him the right way, trade him. Terry Rozier, trade him. Duncan Robinson, trade him. If there's a bum on this roster, get him off the team. Point blank, period. When it comes to Tyler and Bam, they need to hurry up and make up their mind on what they're going to do. There's some people, first of all, they want to fire Pat, they want to fire Spo. Some people want to trade Bam, some people want to keep Bam, some people want to trade Tyler, some people want to keep him. They need to make up their mind ASAP. All I'm saying is, Bam Adebayo, if you're going to be a max guy, you also have to give us that great effort on the offensive end. I understand what Bam does. He does everything for this Miami Heat team. However, we're still going to need him to be aggressive and actually look at the rim and be dominant when it comes to the offensive end, especially when you have the mismatch. Tyler Hero, he's clearly not a number one option. It really doesn't help his cause, though, when he's crying, talking about he can't win without Jimmy, and he's boohoo crying, making up excuses. No. Garland went at you, and you went right back at Garland, and you did not deliver on your end. I'm not saying that we were supposed to win the series, but you don't go out like that. You don't go out with 4 points in a closeout elimination game. You can't, you got to stand on your nuts. You got to stand 10 toes down. So once again, when it comes to this franchise, I want athletic guys, scoring. I don't just want two-way undrafted guys on this roster. I need guys who can score the basketball. I need guys who are athletic. I need guys who can actually play basketball at a high level. There's a very good chance there's going to be a bunch of stars on the market. This NBA is going to shift. Kevin Durant, Zion Williams, John Morant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the list goes on. Who knows? This really all comes down to the playoffs. Which teams feel like they can't really move past where they're at. Who's pissed at which superstar, which franchise wants to get rid of their superstar. I'm not saying we're getting Giannis. I'm not saying we're getting any of these guys. Because once again, nothing is promised, and who knows what this front office really wants to do going forward with this roster. All I'm saying is there's moves to be made. It just might not all be in this season coming up. We have to be patient. Look at the landscape of the NBA. Remember, this new CBA has handicapped a lot. And just because we want to trade people doesn't mean these other teams want what we have. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you for all the support.